Picture two 18-year-olds standing at the same fork in the road. One walks toward a university, the other walks toward a trade school. Everyone in the room assumes they already know who wins this story. But the real numbers are far stranger than that assumption. Because by the time these two paths cross again, decades later, the person holding more money in the bank might not be the one with doctor printed on their business card. Let's start with the doctor. 4 years of undergraduate study, 4 more years of medical school, then 3 to 7 years of residency, depending on the specialty. That's up to 15 years before a full attending salary even begins. During almost all of that time, income is minimal or negative. Tuition adds up, living costs add up, and most of it gets paid for with loans. According to the Association of American Medical Colleges, the median medical school debt for graduates was around $200,000 as of recent reporting. Flag this figure for verification before publishing, since debt totals shift year to year. That number doesn't include undergraduate loans. It doesn't include interest that compounds while a resident is working 80-hour weeks for a fraction of what an attending physician earns. Now picture the electrician. At 18, they enter a paid apprenticeship, not an unpaid internship. Paid, 4 to 5 years long, and during every single one of those years, they're earning a wage while they train, not borrowing money to sit in a classroom. By the time the doctor finishes residency, the electrician has had a full decade of paychecks, a decade of raises, a decade of compound interest working in their favor instead of against them. Here's what nobody mentions about the electrician's path. There's no 6-figure tuition bill waiting at graduation. There's no interest clock ticking in the background for 15 years. The debt one person carries becomes the head start the other person banks. So what do the actual numbers say once both of them are established? The Bureau of Labor Statistics lists the median annual wage for electricians at roughly $61,500 as of its most recent occupational data. Flag this figure for verification since BLS updates its numbers annually. That's the median. Electricians who move into specialized commercial work, industrial contracts, or who start their own business routinely earn well beyond that midpoint. Physicians, by contrast, sit far higher on paper. The same Bureau of Labor Statistics data places median physician compensation above $200,000 a year. Flag this figure too. On the surface, that number ends the conversation immediately. But does it? A raw salary comparison ignores the 15 years the doctor spent earning little to nothing while paying interest on 6-figure debt. It ignores the decade of compounding the electrician already banked. And it ignores something even bigger. What happens after both of them have been working for 20 years? An experienced electrician who starts their own contracting business isn't capped at that median wage anymore. They're billing labor, materials, and markup. Owner-operators in electrical trades can out-earn many salaried professionals because they've shifted from trading hours for wages to owning the business that sells the hours. A doctor, meanwhile, is still largely trading hours for wages too, just at a much higher rate and often against a debt balance that took a decade to pay down. Would you rather earn less for 20 years with no debt, or earn more for 10 years while still climbing out of a hole? That's the real question buried underneath this comparison. Not who has the bigger number, who has the bigger number after everything is subtracted. Here's the twist that changes the whole story. When you run the math across a full working lifetime, not a single year, but every year from 18 to 65, the electrician's decade-long head start plus zero education debt plus business ownership potential can close the gap with a physician's higher raw salary. In some real-world cases, factoring in debt service, delayed earnings, and reinvested early income, the electrician's net lifetime wealth trajectory can pull ahead by their 40s. Flag this projection for verification, since it depends heavily on individual career choices, investment behavior, and specialty. It's not that doctors don't make more money. Many of them do, especially in high-paying specialties. It's that makes more money and ends up wealthier are two completely different questions, and this channel has spent this entire video answering the second one. So what does this actually mean for you? If you're standing at that same fork right now, the honest answer isn't trade school beats medical school. The honest answer is that the path with the bigger number on a job posting isn't automatically the path with the bigger number in your bank account 20 years from now. Debt has a cost, time has a cost, ownership has a payoff that a paycheck alone never will. The next time someone tells you which career is worth it, ask them one thing. Worth it by what year? Because two 18-year-olds can walk in completely different directions, and the one everyone assumed would win might just be catching up the whole time.